Kia ora and welcome to episode 140. I'm so glad that you're joining me today because I want to talk to you about your business processes. These are the sweet little things that are either going to make or break your business in 2025. I want you to think about your business like a waka, a canoe, moving across the water. If everyone is paddling in sync, you're moving smoothly and fast. But if your paddlers are out of rhythm, or even worse, their paddle is broken or they're holding the paddle the wrong way, then your waka is either going round and round in circles, you're drifting aimlessly, or everyone is working really hard and getting nowhere. And as a previous waka ama paddler, I know what it feels like when the team aren't paddling in sync. It feels really hard and it's a drag. And so the same thing applies to your business processes. When they're really clear and well structured, you get consistency, efficiency, and your business is scalable. But without them, your business will waste time, you'll rack up unnecessary costs, and you'll miss out on opportunities to grow your business. So that's why today I'm going to walk you through how to create and refine your business processes to make sure that 2025 is the year that your business runs like a well-oiled machine or a smooth-sailing waka. Kia ora and welcome to Business Your Way. I'm your host, Sandra Julian, a certified business coach with over 2 decades of experience in building and scaling businesses. Over that time, I've learned that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to business success. What matters is finding the approach that works for you. So this podcast is all about helping you scale your service-based business with strategies that align with your soul and your values. I want to help you drop that hustle culture and focus on more sustainable, soul-aligned growth. I invite you to join me in each episode for insights and actionable steps that will work for you. Let's make your business feel right for you in a way that truly fits with your life and the life that you want to live. Let me start by explaining why your business needs strong processes and why there might be this little voice in your head that keeps saying to you, I don't have time to document every little thing I do. And I get it because that same little voice used to live in my head for way too long. So I understand that push-pull between the need to document your processes and the client demands and the level of work that you need to do in order to put money in the bank. That's a real push-pull in the business. But what I learned was that if you put that off for way too long, your business will struggle way longer than it needs to. Because without strong processes, you're making everything harder and harder and harder for yourself. So the older your business gets and the less business processes you have, the harder it feels to make any progress in your business. And I want to give you something that you're just going to shake your head at me once I tell you this. So I want you to think about your morning routine. You don't waste time or energy deciding whether you're going to brush your teeth before or after breakfast because you already have a system in place. That system was put in place at a very young age, and you don't even think twice about it now. And that's exactly what your business processes should do for you. They remove the guesswork so that you can focus on growing your business instead of being caught up in all these little daily inefficiencies. And those daily inefficiencies might look something like this. It might look like that you are checking everything that your team have done, or that you're having to explain the same thing over and over and over again to the team, to ensure that they get it right so that you don't have to check their work all the time. And then when you get a new employee, you're having to spend hours onboarding them and showing them how to do everything in your business because there's no documented processes for them to follow. So if that's not enough to convince you that your business needs strong processes, then turn off the podcast now. Go listen to something else. But honestly, come back to me, because if you want your business to run smoothly and scale without chaos or without burning yourself out, then you need to spend some time documenting your business processes. So today I've got 4 key things that you need to do in order to start to document your processes. And the first is get clear on your objectives. Every process in your business has a purpose. So when you look at your first process that you're going to start to document, ask yourself, why does this task need to happen? What's the best way to do it? And how do I measure it to know that it's working? So when you define success, then you can go ahead and achieve that success. So that's your first step, is defining what success looks like. The second thing you need to do is standardize how it gets done. So if you're reinventing the wheel every time you onboard a new client, or you're delivering a specific service, or you're following up invoices, you're literally wasting your time. You're literally putting yourself on the road to burnout. Document every process in your business. Honestly, this is the best way to do things so that you or your team can follow the same steps every time. So even if it's you doing the process or if it's you carrying out the task, document it for yourself, because you can then free up your brain space. You don't have to hold on to that process in your brain. You've committed it to paper and you just then have to follow the steps that you've written out for yourself. And documenting your processes isn't something that you can adopt from others. You can't go to somebody else's business, adopt their processes over into your business. You need to work out what works for your business. And what you do creates your unique difference in the marketplace. So document that unique difference. Document your processes that make you you. Yes, processes are cookie cutters, but processes are unique to each business. So you're creating your own cookie cutters for your business. You're not borrowing somebody else's cookie cutters and trying to use them in your business. You're creating your own so that you can use them over and over and over and over again in your business. So you have to standardize the way that you do things. There is no shortcut to this. All right, the third thing that you need to do is to automate where you can. Because I know you didn't start your business so that you can spend days or hours chasing up invoices, chasing up emails, following up on appointment reminders, ticking off tasks from the to-do list. There is an endless amount of things that we can automate. So in 2025, automation isn't just a nice to have. It's an essential part of running an efficient business. The tools and technology that we have available to us today is extraordinary. So let's take full advantage of all of it. For example, if you're manually sending appointment reminders to clients to be sure that you're both ready for the meeting that you're going to have later today or maybe tomorrow, if you're sending those manual reminders, start scheduling them. Implement a scheduling tool that can automate those reminders for you. If you are spending hours following up on unpaid invoices, get yourself some really good accounting software and automate your payment reminders. You don't have to spend time doing those tasks anymore. We have some phenomenal pieces of software and the tools and technology that can automate a huge amount of tasks, frees up at least half our week compared to what was possible just 5 short years ago. So the less time you spend on repetitive admin tasks, the more time you're going to have to work on your business strategy, on getting more sales, and on serving the clients that you have. And the fourth thing you need to do is keep improving. What works now might not work in 12 months. So that's why we need to regularly review the processes that we have. We need to identify the bottlenecks and then make adjustments. And let me tell you, the only way to really identify bottlenecks is by having a process in the first place. Because when you have a process, whether it's the right process, the wrong process, whether it's inefficient or really efficient, you won't know until you document and you do it. And then once you've done it a few times, you can then identify where the bottlenecks are happening. They're really easy to identify. They stick out like that big red nose on the reindeer. It's so obvious. Then you can make adjustments to your process and then they become more efficient. So processes aren't something that are perfect first time. They need improving. So a continuous cycle of improvement for your processes is a must. One of my favorite ways to do this is by asking either yourself or the team member that's carrying it out is, can we do this task in half the time? Or can we reduce the time it takes to do this task by 25%? And when you ask yourself that question, then it forces you to think about what's actually necessary and what's just habit. Because that's the other thing, is habits are good things. Habits are great. And when we have documented processes, they become habitual. But if we're going to improve what we do, we have to stop every now and then and examine the habits that we've created. Is a step in the process actually necessary, or are we just doing it because it's a habit we've created? And then that's the point where you're like, that's an unnecessary habit, let's can it. Alrighty, let's talk about the 2025 business process upgrades that you simply can't ignore. Because if you've been running a business for a while, you know that what worked a few years ago won't necessarily work today. And in 2025, things are evolving faster than ever. If you want to stay ahead of the game, there are a few key business process upgrades you simply can't ignore. And I don't think these changes are just little nice to haves. They're the difference between running a business that flows effortlessly and one that constantly feels like you're scrambling to keep up. So let's dive into what I think is shifting in 2025 and how you can make sure that your business is set up to thrive this year. So first off, AI is here to stay. AI isn't replacing you, but it's making business operations easier. I know there's been a whole lot of chit-chat around AI and the pros and cons of having it, using it. Could be detrimental, it could make your business like everybody else's business, but I don't think that's the case. I think this just creates a huge opportunity for us to do things faster while still remaining true to who we are and how we want to do business. So tools like ChatGPT, they can automate your content creation, and AI-powered customer service, it can take a massive load off your plate. And I think we've only touched the surface on this area of how AI can help our business. I think we have to be strategic about how we're using AI, and we have to think about how it works for our business specifically. So if you haven't been, exploring AI, here's just a few ways that you can start using it in your business. So there's some very smart AI tools out in the marketplace. Some are for free, some, cost a little bit of money, but you can use them to create a summary of your meeting notes. So they could just be running in the back of your meeting. Whether your meeting is in person or online, you can get tools that will record the audio or record the video and then summarize your meeting notes. You could use AI to draft emails. I know I've definitely done this before when I've just had a brain dump into ChatGPT and then asked it to formulate a draft for me. Then I've taken that draft, which has given me a starting point, and summarized in a really nice way all of the brain dump that I wanted to include in the email. And then I just finessed it into how I wanted to deliver that email. So, it can help you with your formulation of your thoughts and formulation of sentences and languages to get to a final product much, much quicker. Still going to use your brain, your intelligence, your way of communicating, but sometimes when you've got an email and you've just got a whole lot of thoughts in your head, AI can be great to brainstorm with you how you might want to structure it and actually deliver it in the right tone. Even if you want to generate some marketing content, so you know what you want to put in your social media caption, and you just put that into GPT and say, how could this be a really engaging caption? And it will come back to you with a few ideas. So you can save hours each week using some AI tools to either brainstorm or to structure or to record or summarize. I think that is a really nice way to begin to play with some AI tools. And I know there is some time that you have to spend when you are setting up the AI. So allocate this to business process improvement. So implementing an AI tool, you want to spend some time, allocate some time to implement that tool because it's going to help you improve what you do. And then you also want to spend some time learning the tool. Otherwise, you are just going to look and sound like everybody else in the marketplace, and you are going to become cookie cutter. So you don't want to use AI to determine what you're doing in your business. That's still coming from your human brain. You're just using AI to get things done faster. That's my take on use of AI in your business. It can make things happen faster, but it still requires your human brain to determine what's required, how you want to do it, and how you want to deliver your business. But AI is just going to help you get there faster, and it's going to save you time in doing other little things like answering customer inquiries. Once you've set up the AI tool to do that, that's going to save you a bunch of time in the long run. So I think AI is here to stay. Work out how it can help you do things in your business faster. Don't allow it to replace your unique point of difference in the marketplace. All right, let's move on. The other thing that I want you to think about in 2025 is cybersecurity. Because now that we have AI, and most of us are thinking about using AI for good, but there are also the possibility that it's going to be used for not good. So if your business runs online, data security should be one of your top priorities, because clients need to trust that their information is safe, it is secure, and it's not going to get into hands where it shouldn't be. And a security breach can undo years of hard work in your business. So in 2025, make sure that you're using secure passwords, that you're using multi-factor authentication, and you are using encryption tools, that you are using password tools, and that both your business and your clients or your customers' details and business information is secure. So depending on your type of business or the type of business that you run, you might want to consider cyber insurance. This was something that we brought into our business about 3 years ago. But I think this is more important than ever now. So make sure that your cybersecurity is your top priority for 2025. Make sure that your business processes are taking into account your cybersecurity. The other big important thing in 2025 is sustainability. It's becoming a competitive advantage for service-based businesses. More and more clients are prioritizing businesses that align with their values, including sustainability. Now, I know that in the event industry, sustainability has been around for many, many years. I think we are 10 years down the track of when I very first started looking into sustainability practices in the way that we delivered our events. So this is not new. But if you haven't started weaving eco-conscious practices into the way that you operate, now is the time. This doesn't mean overhauling everything in your business overnight, but start making small shifts, because every small shift that you make will have a big impact over time. So think about how you are delivering your services. Could you reduce unnecessary travel by optimizing virtual meetings? The tools that we have available to us to do virtual meetings these days means that we can cut the cost of our travel. So put that as one of your sustainability practices, is that you are doing more virtual meetings now and saving on travel and petrol, and it also is good for time saving as well. But, put this into your eco-sustainability practice. You can also switch to digital contracts. There are many tools in the marketplace now where you can have your clients sign proposals or contracts digitally. And you now can cut down on your paper waste, so you're not having to print the contract or print a draft and then print a final and then print 2 copies of the final. You can cut down on all of that waste and be more environmentally friendly by doing everything digitally, especially with contracts and proposals. And the other thing to think about is not only what you are doing, but are your software tools and suppliers that you are using aligned with the ethical and sustainable practices that you are bringing into your own business? So beyond being good for the planet, sustainability becomes a selling point for your business. Clients are looking for businesses that walk their talk, and embedding sustainability into your processes now will set you apart in 2025 and beyond. Alrighty, now you know why strong processes are crucial for your business. Let's make sure that you actually take some action, because nothing changes if nothing changes. So let's make sure that you are making constant improvements to your business and making your waka sail smoothly. And if you've been around the podcast for a wee while, you know that I like to make every episode really actionable. So I always give you action steps so that you can walk away from each podcast with some action steps that will help you make improvements to your business. So 4 steps in today's action. First step is pick one of the processes in your business that feels clunky or it feels inconsistent. Is that your onboarding of your clients? Is it your managing of your invoices? Is it your scheduling of your appointments? Pick one. And then step 2 is write down each step of that process as it happens right now. What are the steps that you do right now to make that thing happen, to make that process happen? And then take a look at it and say, where do things slow you down and where do mistakes happen? So then step number 3 is identifying one way to improve that process. So can you automate a step? Can you eliminate unnecessary back and forth within that process? How can you improve that process? And then step 4, test the process for a month. Track how much time you save or how much smoother things in your business run because of this one process that you've implemented. If it works, make it a standard process in your business. If it doesn't work, come back to step 3. Identify ways that you can improve it. Implement it for another month. Review it. When you're comfortable that it's in a good space, then go forth, leave it alone. And just keep repeating it over and over and over again. Alrighty, before we wrap up this episode, I want to tackle a couple of common questions that I hear all the time when it comes to business processes. Because if you're thinking it, chances are other business owners are too. And these are a couple of questions from business owners who have been thinking it and then ask the question. So I hear this one all the time. What if my business is just me? Hello, solopreneur. You'll be thinking, do I really need processes? Do I really need to document my processes? And my answer to that thought is absolutely you do. Even if you're a solopreneur, your business will run smoother when you have repeatable processes. It saves you time, it reduces your decision fatigue, and it keeps everything really consistent. You don't have to hold that process in your brain. You can get it out of your brain, put it onto paper, and then free up that space to do other things. So if you have got a VA, or if you ever hire a VA or bring in a team member, they'll be able to step in seamlessly to your business without the need for you to stop and spend a lot of time explaining everything in detail. You can give them an overview, you can introduce the process, and then you can say to them, come back to me if you have any questions. Alrighty, the other question that I get all the time and that I see being asked loads is, if I have processes but my team doesn't follow them, then what good are they? Or how do I fix it? So this is also very common, that if your team isn't following the processes that you have taken the time to document so your business has consistency, there's usually a reason why they're not following the process. Either it's too complicated, or they don't see the value in it, or you as the business owner haven't built a process-driven culture in your business. So if this is you, if this question is the question that you're asking, then start by simplifying where you can. Make sure that your process is easy to access and it's easy to follow. Your team aren't going to use the process when they have to go hunting around for the process. So make your processes easy to access. Make them searchable. When I got serious about the processes in my business, we set up a project board in Monday.com because it was searchable, because we could write comments on the improvements. We could write comments on the last time it was reviewed. We could link the actual document to our board. So it was super easy for my team to find the process that they needed to follow, or to actually see if there was a process that they needed to be following because we had a process-driven culture. So make it easy for your team to access your processes and to follow them. And more importantly, help your team understand why it matters that you have a process-driven culture. Make them understand how it saves time, how it improves the quality of your business output, how it reduces mistakes. When you can explain this to your team and they can see the benefits, then they're much more likely to adopt that process-driven culture. So just as I have today on this episode explained to you and hopefully convinced you of the importance of having processes in your business, you are going to do the same thing with your team. Now, if there is one thing that I want you to take away from today, it is this. Your business will only run as smoothly as your processes allow. By setting clear objectives, standardizing your operations, automating where possible, and regularly refining how things get done in your business, you're setting yourself up for some long-term success. This is how your business becomes scalable. When you get your business processes dialed in. You want your business to feel good. You don't have to do the things the hard way. You don't have to do the hard slog. You don't have to get to burnout to realize things need to change. with the right systems and processes in place, you get to focus on what truly matters, which is why you set up your business in the first time. You get to scale your business your way. You get to create a business that supports the life that you want to have. And if you're ready to make that happen, then I've got a little tool that could be of help to you. So I've got a system creation toolkit, and it's packed with templates and checklists and workflows that will help you get started in streamlining your operations so that you can step away from the daily grind and start focusing on how you are growing and scaling your business. So you can head to the show notes. I've got a link in the show notes for you to pick up the Systems Creation Toolkit and start using the tools inside of that to implement some processes, some solid processes in your business. You're going to go from, I don't know where to start, to, great, I'll do this next. So that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. There's a link in the show notes where you can send me a message at sandrajulian.co/ask me. Let me know what processes you're working on improving in your business this month. I'd also love to know if you're at the start of your journey in implementing processes in your business. And if you have a question, leave it for me there as well. I'm happy to come back to you and answer any questions you have about how the processes are working in your business. Alrighty, my friend, that's it for today. Go out there and scale your business, enrich your life, and amplify your impact.